Military releases photographs and sets to bury 12 soldiers killed in Benue. The Nigerian military has released the photographs of 11 soldiers and an officer killed by a militia on Bonta or in Bonta community of Konshisha local government area of Benue State. The bodies of 12 soldiers killed by a local militia in Bonta community arrived at a military cemetery in Wurukum in Makurdi, the state capital, for burial. Daily Trust reports that the bodies of 11 soldiers and one officer are lying in state at the cemetery. Each soldier is pictured with the name, date of birth, date of death, and religion detailed beneath a headshot. The military authorities earlier announced the killing of 11 soldiers who were on a peacekeeping mission between the Bonta community and Ukute Ainu community in Ķ1ŁŁ over land dispute. Top military officers have also arrived at the venue, awaiting the commencement of the burial rites. The military authorities earlier announced the killing of 11 soldiers who were peacekeeping missions between the Bonta community in Konshisha and Ukute Ainu community in Ķ1Ł over land dispute. Okay, now they've revealed them and the pictures. And I'm now I don't know why they decided to put the religion. I don't think it mattered. But of course, these are, tendencies or tactics used to create conversations that will just promote division at the end of the day. These people are now dead. And let me actually even count for argument's sake. So now there were 11. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there were 9 Christians that were actually dead. Sad, but it seems to be it is the patterns of Christian dying in all these attacks, even if they're in the military or even even as like civilians in the north that are just Christians. They just go for them. I mean, it started as it's so sad. Let's see what the first comment here is. It says from 2 soldiers to 11 and now 12. There's nothing we've not seen in this country. I'm not sure these soldiers were killing Benue. They're just telling us that the ambush trained soldiers couldn't at least resist being captured by untrained militias. Secondly, instead of investigating the matters, the soldiers invaded innocent people and massacred them. The army certainly wants to depopulate my people, but posterity will judge. Someone says the army should equally ensure to publish photographs of the soldiers dying in Borno and Northeast. Yeah, true. That is very, very true. Very true. They never ever reveal pictures and go the extra length to reveal these stuff. So it's like, what was the reason? I think Nigerians just know. It's like we're all speaking coded languages in the country. It's like everyone knows the underlying meaning. Even in our culture, it's so ingrained. Everyone has meanings. From what you say, they don't use that. They just take the underlying meanings. And I guess that's maybe it's the problem of English language or something, but I don't know. Someone here says they put religion in there for what? So we shouldn't feel biased about death of our own one Nigeria. No religion is better than being a human being. It's absolutely sad. Exactly. First, as someone said, in the Northeast, they never really, put pictures of the people that died for us to believe or go that extra length, and then they now put the religion for what? Who asked? They're dead. It's like no one asked. The fact is, you guys will not go the extra length in investigating or bringing out these images. It's very sad. Someone says we all knew that most of these soldiers were not killed in Benue. They just tagged the killings in Benue to justify their biased action on Benue and the indigenous. And this is the first time soldiers are being published there killed. Once since the government militants called Boko Haram and bandits have been killing them, but no publication. All of a sudden, all the slain soldiers turn into children and Christians. What a country! You better preach. Someone says these poorly motivated soldiers do not deserve death in the hands of their killers. They are also victims of the state. Don't be surprised they owed several duty allowance of, come on. They you see how dangerous this country is. So basically, from the example to show how dangerous the country is, when the kids or students were kidnapped in another part of the country, and of course Ś0LD1 went to go and negotiate and actually give them, ransom and pay. I think it was around December, the first bandit, or this first set, actually came out and said that they cheated them, that the money that they said to the public that they actually paid was, significantly less than what they actually paid. So again, even when it comes to bailing out children that, these people show that they could not fight or even go against, they even still cheated and were still corrupt in trying to save the lives of kids. This government is one kind. Somebody says, why putting religion in there? These people sometimes behave like children, all of them. It's like as if they like, let them make it all ego. Military is military and the agenda is one. What do you believe the agenda is? Someone says, RIP today, not their fault. It's bad government, honestly. And I know that it might sound very divisive, but I want to see if Southern soldiers just decide, you know what, we're not part of the army. Let's see who actually makes up the army and who is fighting who. Because it's so sad. It really is. Someone says, good for them. They will keep on killing and burying them. They were told to leave the damnable Zoological Republic of Nigeria terrorist army. They refuse. Now look at the consequences of playing deaf ears to an institution. Yeah, that's a bit harsh. I think, again, I don't know. It depends on how their mindset was before they entered the military and what it was like in the military, which, of course, would definitely change because the trauma you go through fighting is a lot. So yeah, it's hard, but I would advise that it's not worth fighting in a system where the resources are there for you to fight properly, but they're deliberately not being given to you, basically setting you up for failure. And so it's like the recruitment of these soldiers, where are they coming from? That's a whole different conversation, and we're not ready for that. Someone here says, good news, if they truly can die, may their souls rest in hell. Wow. We also want to see the pictures of those killed in Borno State, or is that the terrorist in Nigerian army uniform they're planning to give the dog a bad name so they can kill him while negotiating with gentle angels in the Sambisa forest? All right. Someone says, let's call a rat. All military killed in Zamfara, BENUE, Katsina, Sokoto should also be published. Enough of the politics. Absolutely 100%. Why are they not being published? Why? It's just like, yeah. The disparities again. The fact is you don't want to start getting into what you think, because it's like it's very different, and let's not even get there. Someone says, soon those who celebrated the incident last couple of weeks will soon come here to start hypocritically crying because most victims are Christians. Well, they are. I mean, 9 out of the 12 that pictures they put there, they were all Christians. So yeah, and we know that Christians are predominantly more in the south of Nigeria. Someone says, same should be done for all those that are following the northeast. Absolutely. I think that's just the general conversation when it comes to this here. Put what I think in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.